Hello, and happy Saturday. Welcome to the KCK Inspiring Moments with Kaylin radio show. I am your host, Kaylin John Louis, and it is my honor to be on the air with you all today. I hope everyone is having a very nice day, and I'm just hoping that you're enjoying time with your family or relaxing. Saturdays are that time where you kind of can just kick back and relax. So I hope that you are doing well. I hope you have been maintaining your health and making sure that you stay safe. We are in a crazy time in our world right now. And so I always encourage that anywhere you go, you use the buddy system. You make sure that you are covered and that people know where you are because the world is crazy. Also, you want to make sure that you're not just checking on yourself physically, but also health wise. You need to make sure that you are taking those precautions. We have some COVID numbers rising again. And so may have to go back and get into those practices of wearing your mask or social distancing, but really make sure you are doing well health wise. If you're not feeling right in your body, please go see a doctor, go talk to someone and take some medicine. Also, as I always say, it is good to be good physically, but you also need to make sure you are doing well mentally. So if you are not doing well, if you are struggling, it is okay to talk to someone. Know that it is okay to not be okay. And it is always good to just talk to someone and make sure that they are giving you the help that you need. I am always here for you and praying for you. And for those in Florida and Tallahassee or just in surrounding areas who just had to deal with Hurricane Idalia, I am hoping and praying that everyone's lights have come back on or that the recovery process for everyone is starting to become quicker and that everybody is recovering. It was very much an unexpected storm, but I'm thankful to God that I'm still here, that my family is still alive, and that everyone that I am close with is doing well as far as I know. And that is something that I think is very great. It's a great thing to be grateful for, and it's something that we should not take for granted. But just to get right into today's show, you know that I have been on my I.P.O.P series. If you've been listening, I.P.O.P stands for Identity, Passions, Objectives, and Projects. And it is a guide to really make sure that you are getting yourself back into life. When you have those moments where you have a funk, where you hit a rut, where you just don't know what's going on and you need to get yourself re-inspired, we are doing I.P.O.P. And today I'm going to conclude everything because I know I talked about in the beginning, back to the basics, going back to where you were. And then last week, I talked about identity and being able to find who you are at your core. But now that we have found what our foundation is and we've been able to evaluate who we are and who we are at our core, it's time to put those things into action. It's time for you to be able to take all that you've learned about yourself, everything that you evaluated, and really live in your now, live in your who you are. And so today I am discussing discover your passion, then live. That is today's topic. Discover your passion, then live. And it is the last three letters of I.P.O.P, which are passions, objectives, and projects. Because once you know who you are able to find what you love. And when you find what you love, you're able to apply that to the things in life that you want to do. Your passions tend to lead you to your purpose and help you be able to accomplish projects, to make action and do things that are necessary. So before I get into everything, let's just go and break down the words. You know, passions, everybody has a passion, right? Everybody's heard the word passion. They've heard the word passionate, but passion is a strong emotion that reflects an intense desire or boundless enthusiasm, and it causes you to act. Passions can be things that you love, things that you enjoy, things that motivate you to continue being the light, continue persevering in our world. Your passions are what ultimately push you to be where you are and help you be the best person or the best version of yourself. Some of us are passionate about music. Some of us are passionate about helping others. Some of us are passionate about simply just making every day a good day and being able to be the best version of themselves. But no matter what you're going through or no matter what is going on in your life, I do believe it is important to know what you are passionate about, and it's important to reflect what is inside of you, to see what you love, to evaluate the things that can motivate you. Like I talked about last week, when you have things going on and you are trying to find your identity, you're trying to find out who you are. Once you go through the drawing board and you say what you like and what you don't like, what you tolerate and what you don't tolerate, you're able to then find the things that you love. And then from the things that you love, you're able to come up with core values, core issues, and things that you like. When you see what you're passionate about, it's a lot of times the things that cause you to act. Like if you look at activists and you see people who are fighting for equal rights, they're passionate about everyone being equal, right? If you look at somebody who is fighting for women's rights, they're passionate about seeing women progress in society. It is a passion thing. When you find out what you love, it drives your core values. It drives the things that you believe in, and you really stick to it. So when you're looking, or when you're doing this guide, and when you finally evaluate your identity and you find your passion, that's the point where you need to come up with those core issues. What are some things you see in society that you can't stand to see? Some things that just really get under your skin. And once you find that, how can you be the change in that? How can you change the things that you don't like? How can you be a better voice or be a better person to help somebody in that next aspect? And once you have evaluated those passions, then you go to the O in I.P.O.P, which is objectives. What is an objective? An objective is the specific actions and measurable steps that you need to achieve a goal. If you think about it, it's really the stepping blocks that get you to the point where you need to be. So when you look at objectives, you're looking at what are the problems that you want to solve? Who are the people that you want to help? What are the things that you want to change? What are some things you want to accomplish in your life? When you look at those things and you evaluate it, the objectives that you make are the things and the actions and the steps and the purpose of things you're going to do. How are you going to get there? How are you going to be better? How are you going to move and persevere and push to the next level? Those are your objectives. What problems in the world irritate you? That's things you need to think about, because like I say, if you're passionate about something, if you have your passion, it's going to eventually lead you to that objective. It's going to make you sit down and write down what you like and realize, okay, now that I know what I like, let me write a goal down. What is my goal? How do I want to succeed in life? Once you write that down, then you write down those objectives, those steps to how you will get there. And once you evaluate everything you need to see in your vision plan, what's next? Projects. Projects are any undertaking carried out individually or collaboratively, and possibly involving research or design, and it's carefully planned to achieve a particular goal. A project is something that you partake in. It's actions that you make to help yourself get to your goal. It's initiatives that you start to develop you into the person you need to be. So like I said, once you discover that passion, then you live. You make projects, you take action, and you realize who you are. You know, passion is energy. I'm passionate about using my voice to help other people. I'm passionate about encouraging people, and that's why I have energy. That's why I have power and focus on what excites me. This is what excites me, and so I'm encouraging you. If you don't know what excites you, if you're confused, find out. Discover your passions. Discover what you like, because your passion will lead you right into your purpose. If you're feeling like you are unsure what to do in life, or maybe you have decided your career path, but you still kind of feel stuck, and you may have those moments of self-doubt where you say, well, am I good enough? Or did I really choose this, or is this the right path for me? That's when you go through this process and you realize that because you're passionate about something, when you go to your core and you rediscover and you reevaluate that passion, then you're able to walk in the purpose that you were given and live. You're able to walk in the place that God has put on this earth for you. Everybody, I don't care what anyone says, I'm a firm believer that when we were created, God gave us all our own individual purpose. We were all unique for a reason. That's why we don't all look alike. That's why we don't all have the same hair. We don't all have the same mannerisms. We don't all have the same voice. We're different for a reason. And we all have our own purposes to walk. Sometimes it's confusing to understand what that purpose is, especially when there's so much in the world going on that tells you to be this and tells you to do that and tells you to hang out with these people and tells you to indulge in these things. But when you discover that purpose, when you discover your passion, you are able to live and walk in your purpose. Being able to live and being able to walk in your purpose requires you to do some dreaming, to do some visualizing what you want to do in life. There's a quote that says, every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world. What does that mean? Every single dream you have, every single initiative that you have, it has been placed in you. The things that you're passionate about, those are things you dream about at night. Those are things that push you, that you wake up excited the next day to say, oh, I can't wait to do this. Oh, I can't wait to do that. And it is something that you cling to. And as much as you may feel upset, as much as you may feel scared or nervous or may not understand what's going on, like the quote says, you have the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for your goals and reach for your dream. You do not have to be worried or concerned or scared about the things that are happening, because when you walk out on faith and you walk in your purpose, you don't have to worry about what comes next. All you have to do is be obedient and discover that passion and live. I know not everybody listening may not be spiritual, but there is something that says if you meet God halfway, he'll do the rest. You got to put some action into it. And so you got to take the time to discover who you are. But once you get to that place that God tells you to be, then you live. You let him take the reins and you live. Your passion comes from within you. It fuels you from the inside. And a lot of times people will say, well, I don't know what I'm passionate about. I don't know, or I feel like I like this. I feel like this is something for me, but I'm unsure. Well, sometimes you got to walk out unsure. Sometimes you got to try things, and if it doesn't work, you try the next thing. And if that doesn't work, you try the next thing, because you want to keep trying to be in the place you need to be. You need to be in that point where you're walking in what you need to do. You need to know your passion, follow it, dream it, and live it. Those 4 things. Know your passion, follow it, dream it, and live it. A lot of times, your passions are grounded in the relationships that you have with people. It's grounded in the people that you connect with, the people you interact with, how you communicate. Your passions and the things that you love sometimes tend to be similar. I don't know about you, but in my friend group, a lot of the things that I'm passionate about, so are my friends. And even though we have our differences, we all have common passions together, that we're passionate about making a difference in the world. We're passionate about being successful. We're passionate about building a life that is worthy of others seeing. It is worthy of others looking up to. We know that we want to be the change we want to see. So we work for it and we push for it. That's how me and my friends go. And in all of my relationships in my life, we push to make sure that we are getting to that place of excellence, because that's what my parents taught me. That's what my mama taught me, to keep going and to keep pushing. And as you are going through life, to know that you have something to work towards, to know that your life is worthy. You are valued. Everything that you have in you, you can use that to be something. My mom always tells me, you live in my house. You don't have no choice but to be great. She tells me that all the time. And it is important that you do discover your passion and you live in the purpose that God has given you. You need a plan. I'm going to use an analogy, right? Because I know I love my analogies. When you build a house, you get a constructor who will lay out the foundation, the build of the house that you want. You basically have to plan to build a house. So to build your life, it's even more important that you have a plan and a goal to get you to where you need to go, or to get you to a place. And there are going to be times where it's confusing. You're not always going to understand what's right. You're not always going to understand where you're going or what's happening, but that's life. Life is going to throw unexpected curveballs. It's going to always surprise you and bring things that you just never thought would come. But that's when you push back. You reignite that passion inside of you, and you live. If the plan doesn't work that you have for yourself, change the plan, not the goal. Because ultimately your goal is you want to be successful. You want to make a difference. Don't change where you're going. Change how you're going to get there. Sometimes one thing doesn't work and you got to go to the next. And that's okay. Not everything, one thing that works for me may not work for someone else, or vice versa. Somebody's plan is not my plan. Everybody has their own intended road, and not everybody can walk on it. That's why it's your own road. That's why it's meant for you. You got to discover your own passion and live. And the goals that you have in your life are the roadmaps that guide you and show you what is possible for your life. The things that you dream about, the things that keep you up at night, the things that get you excited and make you say, ooh, I just want to do it. Have you ever watched a show or saw somebody do something and you just said, I want to do that? Or that looks cool. Or I'm excited. I watch stuff. I'll listen to people speak. If you've ever seen Oprah Winfrey speak or Michelle Obama, or you're looking at people like T.D. Jakes when he's doing his motivational speaking, there's so many people. Les Brown. When you are looking at people speak, or when I look at people speak, it gets me motivated. It makes me say, ooh, they made this point, or ooh, they talk like this. Let me study them and see what they're doing, or listen to the tips that they have so that I can be a better me. Those things, and watching and getting help and learning, it's going to help you get there. But you got to put in the action to discover that passion and live. It's not enough to take steps that may someday lead to a goal. You got to every day be intentional about what you want to do. When you wake up in the morning, when you put on your jewelry, when you do your makeup, or you do your hair, or you just freshen up in the morning, you need to be waking up with the morning saying, okay, today is a new day. Yesterday may not have been so great. I may not have accomplished everything yesterday, but now that I have today, what can I do? What step can I make every day to get myself to the place I want to be? And it's a lot of baby steps, if we're being honest. Like when I started off, and everybody, I think every child, when you start off, they just push you in school, right? And those little steps of going from first grade to second grade to third grade to fourth grade to fifth grade and all the way up there until you are there, they're stepping stones. Just like with your parents, when you first come, you don't know how to talk, you don't know how to walk, you don't know how to eat, you don't know how to do all of that stuff, right? But over time, you learn. Over time, those little steps turn into what you are now, which is an adult. Because I'm telling y'all, I did not expect to be here this quickly. But what I'm telling you is those small steps that you take every day to get to the place you need to be, or to get you to your passion, they're going to be well worth it. If you think about it, life is really a do-it-yourself project. You know, they don't give you a manual. They don't tell you. They can guide you. You have people in your life who are mentors. You have parents who are here to build you up. But life is really a do-it-yourself project. If you don't know something, you inquire about it. If you want to learn something, you ask questions. If you want to go somewhere, you work toward it. It's really a do-it-yourself. You have to grab your own life by the reins and say, hey, you know, this is what I want to do. Sometimes even when you get in those moments where you doubt yourself, I've had moments where I have to look at myself in the mirror and say, okay, I don't know what this feeling is, but we got to shake it because we know we going somewhere. Sometimes you got to tell that to yourself, because you may be listening and you're like, yeah, Kaylin, I know my passion. I know who I am. I know who I am at my core. I've went back to my basics and I've reevaluated my foundation. I know what I'm passionate about. I know what objectives I have. I know what projects I want to do. But sometimes you still have to reevaluate. You always have room to improve. Everybody does. We may think we're perfect or may think we're in the spot, but we always have room to be a little better. We always have room to understand ourselves a little bit more and to understand other people. Sometimes in one part of our life, things work. And when we get to another season or our next season, it doesn't. But it's a part of learning. It's a part of discovering and living. Every day you make the conscious choice to live, or every day you take the chance to walk in who you are, you're making that step to be passionate, to follow what you love, to do what you love. And it's scary sometimes, sometimes you don't understand what's going on, but the mere fact that you walk in it and you remain what you need to be, you remain who God called you to be, and you make that step, that's the point where you are truly living. I understand that everybody's road is different. Everybody's path is different. And that's something I really do want to point out. A lot of times we got to be okay with knowing that some places that we go, our peers may not go. Some places our peers go, we may not go. Some things that other people do, we will not be able to do, or vice versa. But that's because our path is unique. They have a famous poem that I think most kids have seen in school. They make us read it. It's called The Road Not Taken. And, they tell you there's two roads that the person could choose. They basically could go to either one. But if you really look at it, the bigger picture was that life is going to bring you some points where you have an option to go one way, you have an option to go another way, but you ultimately are getting back to that place where you need to be. And there's going to be times where you take detours. There's going to be times where the things you're passionate about and the things that you plan and the goals that you have, they don't always go the way that you want them to. But when you revert back, and like you do what I have been doing, you revert back to your drawing board. You go back to your roots and go back to the things that you know, and you say, okay, hey, this is where I came from. How do I get myself back on track? It's necessary to do that. Sometimes you got to give yourself your own wellness check, because sometimes you don't know what's going on. But as long as you get yourself back into the place that you need to be, that is all that matters. And I know I said a lot. I'm not going to push too much, but I do want to, like I told y'all, the series of I.P.O.P. I.P.O.P is something that I want everybody to know, that if you're going through things, it's okay. You pop. Be you. Be unique. You don't have to be like everyone else. Stand out and be who God has called you to be. And so, like I did last week when I talked about my identity, I want to say this week, the rest of the things that I did. What are my passions for those listening? My passions are helping others, using my voice to bring peace and positivity, maximizing the moment, spending time with my loved ones, and making an impact on the world. I enjoy helping others. That's something I'm passionate about, and it's something that I put in parts of my life so that I can exercise that passion. I'm passionate about using my voice, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm passionate about maximizing every moment and making sure that I am here in the moment, experiencing everything around me. I enjoy and I'm passionate about spending time with my loved ones. I love spending time with my family and my friends. And I love making an impact on the world. Even if I see it as small, to know that other people are inspired, feel motivated, feel determined because of just my life and my example, that's enough to keep me living every day. Knowing that somebody may say, Kaylin, you saved me. Or Kaylin, looking at you inspired me to do this, that, and the third. Or just hearing you speak pushed me into the next day. It helped me not give up. That is my passion. That is what pushes me. That is what makes me keep going and makes me do things with Kaylin's Caring Connection, and continues to have me use my voice and continues to put me in the place where I am now, where I am unapologetically myself, where I am making sure that I am there for other people, but I'm also using my life to be a difference in every life I encounter. I always want to be a blessing to someone else. I always want to help somebody else, because I know at the end of the day, life is hard and we're all just trying to make it together. But those are my passions. And then you say, Kaylin, well, what are the objectives? What are the small steps you're going to take to get or to maintain those passions, to uphold them? Well, some things and some goals that I have just off with the things I'm passionate about are to become better spiritually, mentally, and physically. And that goes under me maximizing the moment, because being honest, I can't be who I am right now. I can't use my voice. I can't be the person that God has called me to be if I do not make sure I'm constantly maintaining myself spiritually, mentally, and physically. Am I healthy? Am I eating enough? Am I walking and getting that exercise? Am I exercising my spiritual brain and talking to God and all that other things? That's something that I want to work on. Another objective I have is to continue excelling academically. And to do that, I'm going to have to use some sacrifice and do some things to help me get there, but it's an objective. And my third one is to live my life in a way that inspires someone to live to their tomorrow. I want my life to be an example to someone else, or to show people that it's okay. Things happen, but you bounce back every single time and you continue to be your true, authentic self. And the projects, this is a project right here. The projects that I have done is Kaylin's Caring Connection, Inspiring Moments with Kaylin. Those are my babies. Those are my projects that I continue to add to and push to, because I really want my life and the things that I do to help other people. I've discovered my passion. Now I'm living it. And I encourage you to do the same. This entire series was for you to understand that who you are is okay. If you don't know who you are, that's also okay. You still have time to find who you are at your core. You still have time to reevaluate who you are and what you want to become. Your life is important, and the things you care about are important. So who are you at your core? Go back to your basics and find who you are. And once you find those basics, make sure you reevaluate them every now and then. If you feel uninspired, then get re-inspired. The whole purpose of I.P.O.P was for you to know this. If you know your identity, you know your passions. Once you have those passions, you turn those passions into objectives or goals that you want to meet. And your objectives are put into action by projects with attainable goals. Therefore, you pop. You know who you are. You're able to live a life where you are proud of yourself, live a life with no regrets, where you can be who you want to be. So thank you so much for listening. I really hope that you have enjoyed today's show, that you've just enjoyed this series. I know I talked about this stuff for a good minute, but we are going to be moving into some other stuff. I just wanted to have a real moment, a real honest few shows of being transparent, that life is life and things happen. And sometimes you feel uninspired, but that doesn't mean you stop. It means you get back up and you find something new and you decide to keep being the person you need to be. You don't stop. You reevaluate and you keep going. I hope that you feel inspired from this, that maybe you take some time to go through I.P.O.P and are able to reevaluate and discover who you are. But ultimately, I hope that you just live as your true authentic self. Don't try to mimic or be like anyone else, because you are you. That is truer than true. Today you are live and you are youer than you. Be that. That's a quote from Dr. Seuss. But as we get ready to leave the show, I do have a quick announcement before I wrap up. Life Changers is partnering. Life Changers Church of God in Christ, the church I attend, is partnering with those in the community to serve those who were affected by Hurricane Idalia. And one of the churches in our jurisdiction was heavily affected by the storm. And so we are collecting items to help assist them in recovering. They are asking for things such as bottled water, non-perishable food items, coolers, and toiletries. So if you have any of these things, are willing to donate, you could drop those items off to Life Changers Church of God in Christ or Dream Builders Greatness Center, which are both located at 601 Miccosukee Road, Tallahassee, Florida, 32308. Please get involved in that. And before I leave and close the show, I ask that you hashtag connect with me on all my social media platforms, which are subscribing to the YouTube channel, which is KCK Inspiring Moments with Kaylin. And I ask that you turn on your post notifications and that you share it with someone else. We do have on that YouTube channel past radio shows and podcasts, different events that I have done with Kaylin's Caring Connection, and just you get to see a little bit more of why I do what I do. You also can follow me on Instagram at Kaylin Cares 15, and on Facebook and LinkedIn at Kaylin's Caring Connection. On those 3 social media platforms, you'll be able to see more information about upcoming shows and different things that we have going on, or if we share things going on in the community, because we always want to push that stuff out. And last but certainly not least, I ask that you check out the website at www.kaylinscaringconnection.com. On that website, you can find all things about KCK, Inspiring Moments with Kaylin, and about me. And you could just see some past media opportunities, any upcoming events that we have going on, and just get connected and tuned in with Kaylin. But I always thank you for tuning in to today's show. I really do appreciate you all's support so much. And I hope that you are enjoying these empowering and motivational conversations. Always know that I care about you. And if no one, I mean no one has told you today, know that I love you. Thanks for listening, and catch me on the next KCK Inspiring Moments with Kaylin radio show.